always humbled and honored to host guests and visitors for our exhibitions. This exhibition, obviously, is about water, as you can tell. It was important for us to show this work, and that's something that I always reflect on anytime we think about the work that we want to bring into this space, onto this territory. The meaning behind some of this work and what Abdi and Ellyn have explored is the meaning of water, both good and bad, for different populations. And it's a timely conversation to have here, especially after the beautiful week, the beautiful weather we've been having. I'm sure some of you have already enjoyed some of our beautiful waterways here. I know I certainly have, and as we go on through the summer, a lot of us will be spending a great amount of time on water. And for me, as I was absorbing some of this work and thinking about its place on this territory, on the unceded territory of the Lake Wata people, it became all the more important to recognize my privilege. I can actually go and enjoy these waters that are around us. Hop on a boat, hop on my paddleboard. It's not just a livelihood for me, and I do come to it from a place of privilege. Whereas what Abdi is exploring here with Ellyn as the curator is its role in other perspectives, other lives. Water can be a dangerous place. Water during the slave trade was an act of colonization, of erasure, of ripping people away from their lands onto dangerous passages. We don't have to worry about that here, but certainly it's something that we should reflect on. Particularly here on the Northwest Coast. Water is just embedded in Northwest Coast cultures. The Kwakwaka'wakw certainly have a close relationship with water, whether it comes from sustenance, from culture, from ways of being, from origin stories even. Great floods, and how certain nations came together and came to be through those great floods. Certain houses, namimas, rose from the sea. Mythological creatures abound, and those all come from the sea. So we are interrelated with water, and so it's important to open up these conversations and recognize that as settlers, we have a pretty privileged view of what these beautiful waterways that surround us are. For some people, it's a way of life, it's a way towards their culture, and it's certainly a way of sustenance. So I hope that this work will resonate with our community here. It's a heavy subject matter, obviously, but I think it's one that's important to talk about, and to talk about how it connects us. Without further ado, I will yield the floor to Gigame Yahudi, who will offer a welcome to the territory for this work for our guests and share a few words.
Only a few.
Just a few.
Gaelic, no timing this time. Way too much questioning. Gaelic has dog lessons. Hamas Lalopalatle. Gaelic has dog lessons. Lichwigdal. Nishlam in the neutral time. While it's in Smutla, Gaelic has dog lessons. Mayaklat, Lahutlat Lachum. While it's in Smutla, Gaelic has dog lessons. Nina Mayut, Halaklands, Lichwigdal. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Lichwigdal territories. The waterways are something that is derived strong in our history, as Sarah had said, from the great flood for the Lichwigdal people in the land of Tekia, where Kai had his people lashed the large cedar rope to the big 7 canoes that held our people, and the 4 of his children that survived here are the names of the 4 villages that are left. Wiwake, the first ones, Wiwakam, the followers, Puika, the killers, and Walatsans, the people of Sun River. From the clan that my chieftainship comes from, in the time of the creational period, the Hope, which was a creational mythological bird, flew out of the waters, carrying the killer whale, the nun, the grizzly bear, and then followed by it was the house that the crest laid upon that came from the waterways. And then we fast forward through times where we look at our history and how our nations come together. So in many different nationalities around the world, both good and dark come from these waterways. The origins of a lot of our worlds come from the waterways of money. And it all begins from that starting period. If you go into to religious times, to biblical times. Noah's Ark came from that great flood. That flood touched the whole world, the whole waterway system. So it is a very lengthy conversation for what we're here for. And it's neat to have a starting point from a different land to look at, where we too had slavery, in which we see that big layout of the slavery ship behind my friends over here. So it's pretty humbling and honoring to see the connection about all our people from two different parts of the world. And so with that, I'm going to share a gratitude song. I'm sorry if I ate too much of your time, Cole, in my speech.
Amen.
But before we jump on that, I did want to raise my hands to Shannon Proctor McLeod, our press reporter there, who makes all of our dreams and guest curators' dreams come true as well. I also see Janelle Pasechnik, our curator of contemporary art, who guides the curatorial direction of this institution. And then we've got Alina, who's hiding behind the desk, but she's the wheels that keep things turning, as well as Mandy Bumble, who has a long suite of incredible programs coming up. Do we have things printed? Okay, so please do grab a programming brochure so that you can learn more about this exhibition and different ways to engage with the concepts, the themes of the artwork that is here.
Just on the plinth on your way out.
It is on the plinth on your. Would you like to share a few words, Mandy?
I can, no, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure,
come. Okay, and then we'll jump into the curatorial talk by Ellen and Matthew.
Yeah. Mandy Bumble, I'm the Programs and Outreach Manager, as Sarah said. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Abdi and Ellen, for bringing this incredible work here. I feel really honored to be able to extend parts of the work into doing programming so people can connect further with the work that you've done. So we have later coming up, we do have the Artisan Curatorial Tour, which we're so lucky to have you here to be able to walk around the space. So thank you everybody for coming today. Then we also have we do a tea and talk for each of our exhibitions. This is a members only perk. To be a member of the gallery is only $30 for the year. We're a nonprofit. All that money goes right back into all these programs that we do. All the programs that we try and run are barrier-free, so folks are able to access them, and it just helps us do more amazing work in this community. We also have a poetry reading and workshop that will be in July with Cecily Nicholson. That will be over in Robert Osman Park, and then we're also going to be having a film screening here at the Craig, and be able to expand a little bit on some of the works here with films as well too from around Canada. So yeah, thank you so much. And they're on the way out on the 5th, so you're welcome to take one, and they'll be online as well too. Oh yes, and we'll be doing paddling together with Kathy Camilleri as well too here at the gallery. We'll be extending that to folks in the community and others as well too. So yeah, thank you so much.
So again, I'll let Abdi and Ellen speak, but Cecily is one of the authors that you will find. We integrated some written works into this exhibition, and Cecily Nicholson as well as Ronaldo Walcott are two authors that you may have seen billboards in the community bus shelters with some of their writings. And I do invite you to consult our reading library, which is just around the corner here, of selected works that Abdi and Ellen have chosen to accompany the themes of this exhibition. So, without further ado, I think I'm good. Yes, I will ask Janelle Pasechnik to just welcome our guests, and we'll move on.
All right, good evening everyone. It's my pleasure to be able to introduce our guest curator and artist this evening. Just thinking about water, we've had this goal this year of bringing in guest curators, opening our hearts and our minds to different perspectives and ideas. And I was thinking a little bit about, say, the estuary, right, where you have fresh water and saltwater, oceanic water, and they come together and they meet and they create this very unique, very special ecosystem where certain species really thrive. And so I welcome you to think about that as we listen to the perspectives of these folks who are coming to us, Ellyn Walker comes to us from Toronto, and Abdi Osman comes from Buffalo, New York. And the theme of our exhibitions this year is Namoyatola, which means to become one. It doesn't mean to, erase or to assimilate or to decide for other people when their experience is finished. It means when everyone decides. And so this is a really great place to have this kind of exchange and have this kind of opportunity to talk about things like colonialism and slavery. Are these words that are still relevant? Are these things that are still happening in a slightly translated, reconverted way? And how can we participate in effective discussion around that? So thank you, Abdi and Ellyn. Welcome.
I'm Ellyn. I'm just going to read you a baby bio of Abdi so you know more about his work before we really dive into it. So Abdi Osman is a Somali-Canadian multidisciplinary artist based between Buffalo and Toronto. His work focuses on questions of Black masculinity as it intersects with Muslim and queer identities, and as well as thinking about belonging and unbelonging in this place called Canada. His work has been widely published and exhibited across Canada, the US, and internationally, most recently at the Berlinale, which is the Biennial of Contemporary Art in Berlin, and at the Blackwood Gallery at the University of Toronto, of which I was the former director and curator of. He is an assistant professor in the Department of Art at the University of Buffalo. So Abdi and I have worked together as collaborators since 2011, so a long time now. Our collaborative projects explore the diverse art forms and cultural practices that complicate representations of belonging in settler colonial contexts like Canada. Parallel works, as Sarah mentioned, are located across the city by Cecily Nicholson and Ronaldo Walcott, as well as outside of the gallery on these beautiful banners. A few thank yous before we begin. We wanted to thank Janelle, the gallery curator, Sarah, the gallery director, Mandy, the gallery programmer, Alina, the gallery manager, Shannon, the gallery installer extraordinaire, as well as thanks to Sarmad, Cody, Nadine, Amaya, Sean, Sunny, Sharky, Agnes, and my family for coming. Thank you for making us feel welcome. I'd like to read you two quotes by poet-writers who inspired us to think about this project. So I encourage you to please close your eyes and listen as I read these aloud. The gaping seed beckons and breaks you. The impotence, the imploring, the inert, the inexact, the crisis, the crease. Port is increasingly distant. You ache for a semblance of the vantage of this one, the proliferation. They are out of sight until they are a sight line. And that's a quote from Asiya Wadood. Her book can be found in the reading room. I recall waking up each day to discover what it has brought us and what it had carried away. The word gaze implies water. To look into this water was to look into the world, or what I thought was the world, because the sea gave one an immediate sense of how large the world was, how magnificent and how terrifying. The sea was its own country, its own sovereignty. Now I would like to read aloud the text that Cecily and Ronaldo have written in case anyone doesn't get a chance to see the public built works. So Cecily Nicholson's is called Glacial Drifts. Networks in the motion of till, a measure of memory. Wind blew the trunks twisted, ice scoured basins. A mesh of roots makes slow haste. In the motion of till, towards the bluff of an old shoreline. And the line from her poem, A Mesh of Roots Makes Slow Haste, is the title of my essay that accompanies the show, so you're welcome to take that home with you. The next text is by Ronaldo Walcott. The Atlantic Ocean is the saline embodiment and the unconscious of Black life, or of the Black life form. The aquatic, or the tidalectic, as Camille Braithwaite termed it, is a way to enter the process of coming to terms with the encounters of Black and Indigenous forged by and through the brutal violence of European expansion into the Americas. The waters then are a wedding of past, present, and future possibility. Water is the foundation of our encounter, and water is the language of the possible. We meet at the water's edge, its waves, its sands, its lands. We meet to begin anew. I'm going to hand it over to Abdi.
Thank you all for coming. I would like to thank everyone, the gallery, the director, the curator, Janelle, Shannon, and everybody else who took part in the installation. So in this exhibition, I have three themes that relate to interrelations at their perspective. And one of the themes is precarity. The projections that you see behind you shows disoriented views and blood waveforms as a gesture of precarity. The precarity of bodies stolen and captured through enslavement and taken across oceans to new territories. It also beckons the precarity of historic escaped slaves as well as modern-day migrants who risk their lives to find freedom, safety, and refuge from lives of enslavement, indentured labor, poverty, and disease. In another way, the panoramic view, the panoramic photograph behind me echoes the precarity of borders, how bodies of water, like land and like human bodies themselves, are surveilled. The image shows a mountain island divided here from there, a site of arrival, a glimmer of freedom. If you look closely, you see the state mechanism of surveillance that tracks moving sea crafts that cross its junction. So, right. And then you also have, in the installation in the middle, enslavement. Responding to cite the vertical pillars, the four vertical pillars in the gallery that interrupt the gallery are reminiscent of cloud architecture, such as load-bearing beams that would have been found in the belly of spaceships. This reference is made all the more concrete with the physical representation of a historic slave and cargo depicted on the rectangular platform that hovers in the middle of the room. At the same time, while we can easily imagine sounds of the waters, rolling waves where we stand together in this room, so the waves are in the back room. Sorry. What envelops the room is actually an audio soundtrack that features an African cadence, a narration by Canadian South African artist scholar Jodash Elapin, who recites text from scholar Sylvia Winter's essay 1492, A New World View, from 1991, that inspired the theoretical thinking about the project of the whole. At once, the speaker's accent conjures the middle passage and echoes distant and diverse geographies and their perspectives and interconnected histories of here and afar. The speaker posits statements from decolonizing, how we understand colonial settlements in the West, in North America, who are focused on understanding history always as histories, that our very existence and ongoing realities are always bound up in each other's in multiple, not binary ways. And then we have the water. Of course, a potent symbol of these interrelationships is water, which brings with it complex histories of local and global indigeneities and diasporas, enslavement and indentureship, immigration and migration, and freedom seeking, where with every turn of the tide, these histories come to the foreground. Water is represented throughout the exhibition in the shimmering video projection in the panoramic image, in the color blue that adorns the walls, and the literal buckets placed around the room. Like land, water is an current and constantly precarious resource. We're charged for water. When we go to restaurants or at the store, we're running out of clean water. Many places across what we consider this free and progressive country still don't have clean drinking water. Water is our relation. Water is life. In our urgent moment of environmental crisis, we share this water. Water is the life source that unites us all in Campbell River and beyond. let us meet in this moment, in this room, at the shore to recommit to caring for water as our shared and a sacred relation. Thank you.